Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and today we're going to have a tier list here rating everybody's current title run. Now, some of these are a lot smaller than the other ones, so they're going to get a worse grade. It's just unfortunately the time before WrestleMania. I just wanted to kind of put that into perspective of where each title is sitting going into WrestleMania. I'm going to try to, if they have a WrestleMania match, kind of maybe hopefully put that in there or like feuds that they're going into, so maybe give them a couple extra points, but it might be a little bit more difficult than some of the other titles. So let's start off with the SmackDown Tag Champions, the Street Profits. Now, these ones are interesting because the Street Profits obviously have only had the titles for what is probably by SmackDown will be 14 days, and they're already going to have what their second title defense. I don't know if the titles were up for grabs against Lars Garza. I can't remember. I know they have Pretty Deadly this week in London, so that's kind of cool. I really like that they are already getting some title defenses. The Raw or the SmackDown tag division is just so deep that like there is so many feuds ahead for them. And then I think once they kind of go exhaust all that, then they're gonna drop them to a different tag team, and then we just start that process all over again. And it's a healthy life cycle of tag teams. And if we can insert some new tag teams in there and some breakups and some changes, I think this tag division is its healthiest right now, especially with the Street Profits in there. So I'm gonna put them in B, even though it's really not like a like I guess like thing for their personal title defense isn't crazy, but like the it's gonna be good. And I think like they're gonna probably have a big like five team thing, maybe even at like WrestleMania. So like that potential, I think, puts it up into the B, at least for me. Then we have Braun Breaker. He's had the IC title for quite a long time, so you can actually put a little bit of a title reign on him. Honestly, I feel like it's been heating up a lot later, like a lot more later. Obviously, he's had back-to-back title defenses. To me, I'm just kind of a fan of seeing the title defended, like on a fairly regular base. Like it doesn't really always have to be a long-standing feud. Just kind of a random match where like, hey, I got you a match like they did with Finn Balor, and then we got the Penta match. Like having those back-to-back really makes the title look good because you get to see it out there, and you know that you experience the title defenses quite often. Those what those mid-card titles really need. I think in general, Braun Breaker's title run has been pretty decent. Like he's had some really good matches with the Sheamuses, and did he defend it against Ludwig? I think it was he had that triple threat at one point. I can't remember if this was on that title defense or the one before where he lost to Jay. But either way, he's had some really good title defenses and really good title in general. I'm gonna put it up in A. It's a really good spot. The IC title is in. I think the interesting thing would be obviously what they're gonna do for WrestleMania, because there's so many opponents that they could go with that more than likely it's going to be a multi-man match, but depends on who they pick. It could be interesting. Next up, we have Chelsea Green with the United States Championship. This one had a lot more heat on it when it first came out of the bat, but then they ran out of kind of opponents for her. And Zelina Vega seemed like she was going to be next, but her taking that L to Piper Niven doesn't really help. So I think the best bet to put it is I feel like it's in B. I think it's one of those titles that like obviously people are liking, and like there's some stuff, but we're just all of a sudden now have nobody for her to face, and she kind of needs to lose it at WrestleMania because there's nothing else for her to do with it. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes with the Universal Championship. Now, I think he had a slow start, and I think that whole Rock calling him out thing really derailed a lot of his everything. But I think they definitely rebounded, and with this feud with John Cena, I think it's definitely made this the top title again. So I'm gonna put it up in S. It's been good. I like the whole title run itself. We're almost to a year on it, and I think he's done a phenomenal job with it. Then we have the Viking Raiders. I like them having the titles, but they just haven't had much to go against. I think they're a C title at the moment. I think there's really not much else they can do. They have the New Day, they have the LWO, and the Judgment Day, and they haven't really had many feuds. Oh, and the American Made, and like so they don't really have long-standing feuds, and they don't really defend week in week out because like other tag teams are just feuding with have nothing to do with the titles, and that's just kind of crazy that like they need to be a little bit more involved with that to make this better. Next up, we have Gunther. His World Heavyweight Championship run has not been the greatest for me. He hasn't really fought anybody that really felt like he was going against them. Like, you know, it's like it just kind of felt like, okay, yeah, Gunther's gonna win this, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it to a certain extent. I think it's been still, I guess, better than some reigns, but I don't think I'd put it higher than B. I think WrestleMania will be very defining for him. If he beats Jay and goes on from there, I think that could be a really big turning point for his title reign for the better. And if he loses and it ends, you know, then we'll have to see how that goes. Next up is Io Sky. She's only just had the title, and she's going to have her first title defense against Rhea as her rematch. Um, in general, this title has a lot of heat. I think the title is definitely rated higher than her title reign. But I do like her with the title, and I do hope she makes it to WrestleMania with the title and through WrestleMania with the title. So I'm going to put her in C currently just because it's so young in it. But I think that it has the potential to be a way better run. Next up is LA Knight. Again, he just got the title back, and he doesn't have much prospects of championships. He does defend it this week against Braun Strowman. I think that'll be a good match. If he goes back to how he had it when he had it the first time, where he was defending it week in, week out, I think we could really see some good stuff come from it. So I'm putting C for now, but I think it's definitely trending for better. Next up is Lyra Valkyrie. She hasn't had a lot of title defense. I think she had such a slow start to her title reign. It was so wild that they did that. I feel like she's a good champion, and I think she definitely needs some more long term feuds and maybe like a returning Becky Lynch to really put that title over on her. But and at the moment, I'd put her in C. I just haven't enjoyed it because we haven't got to see it as much. It's been better lately, but that's the only reason why it's on a D. Next up is Tiffany Stratton. I don't think they've really given her the shot with the title. I'm going to put her in D for the time being. I like Tiffany as the champion, and I think that after WrestleMania, if she retains, they could really then give her the proper title run, and I'm really excited for that. But if she loses at WrestleMania, I don't think her title run really goes that well. But yeah, those are my picks. Tell me what you guys think. What title runs you're excited about? What WrestleMania matches you're excited about? Because a lot of this can change that during WrestleMania season. So this has been Japan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.